What's up, Ant Squad? How you doing? Today we're doing a little bit of a freestyle video because I just saw this. I didn't think that this would be some form of video that would be worth doing at first. There's been a lot of speculation if the multiplayer aspect to Mass Effect's Legendary Edition, will be made. There was a lot of speculation when the Legendary Edition was announced that it was probably, might be ported over, but then we got confirmation that it wasn't. The Galaxy at War system has been updated for Mass Effect 3, so as to make sure that it gets balanced out, because they're not going to include the multiplayer. But there seems to be something going on with this, actually. So from a post on Reddit right here, so apparently the user Demiurge93 posted on Reddit 12 hours ago the following. Found on Twitter, some people are trying to petition for multiplayer in Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Apparently Bioware said if it garners enough interests, they'll consider it. And when you click the link, you come over to a petition website called change.org where people have already started signing up. So you see here, this meter is going up steadily. 488, 490 have already signed. Let's get to 1,000. So if this gets enough attention, then maybe Bioware will consider adding the multiplayer. In this post, it says Mass Effect 3 multiplayer wasn't just for story progression, it was a way for the community to join together and have fun, meet like-minded people and share love of the franchise with others. A lot of people still play the original to this day, and future newcomers to the franchise will also want to experience other ways to play the game, which I do absolutely agree with. Retrofitting it to the new system is tough, and I know trying to remake the multiplayer is a huge task and a lot of time, but even the community and fans of Mass Effect are willing to wait, heck even pay for another chance to relive the magic together. Would you guys pay for a multiplayer add-on? I probably would, because I loved the multiplayer aspect of Mass Effect 3. It was awesome. I'm not sure why, but they really knocked it out of the park there. Like the synergy between your squad mates, making combinations to kill your enemies, and the kind of wave system where enemies comes in waves, that was like really addicting. And I don't know how many hours I spent just playing the multiplayer. I probably played more hours playing multiplayer than I actually played the campaign in Mass Effect 3. So I think this would be awesome. But this is not like the only thing, because in the Reddit post, so apparently Bioware said if it garners enough interest, they'll consider it. And the article that Demiurge is talking about here seems to be a interview with CNET, between CNET and Mac Walters. And this is the article right here. Mass Effect director hopes Legendary Edition will change feelings about the infamous ending. La 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 la. Yes, very interesting, very good, very great. But that's not the that's not the point of this video. There we go. Here. Is there any possibility of the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer mode, which isn't in the Legendary Edition, coming back in some form? I got super into it back then because you could try all the different abilities and just zip around as an Asari or any other of the races. Walters, I would never say no to that. We want to see what kind of reception the Legendary Edition gets and what the demand for the multiplayer is. And then we'll ask ourselves if we have the resources and time to bring it up to the quality level we and fans want. There you have it. They're considering adding it if just people want it enough. And the crazy thing is, like, just on Steam, it's already topped the sales list on Steam. I'll show you right here, just a moment. All right, look here, guys. So if you go to best selling, you can see right off the bat that it's Mass Effect Legendary is the topping one. So it's not Resident Evil Village, it's not Subnautica, it's not Forza Horizon, It Takes Two. None of these, no. The first one that pops up is Legendary Edition. So this is insane. So of course Bioware is gonna consider adding the multiplayer because of how popular it was. I remember when they said that they weren't gonna have the multiplayer, there was a lot of outcry. People were pissed. And while I myself wasn't angry about it, I still felt like this is a missed opportunity, because the Legendary Edition, or the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, as I said before, it was great. It was such a great addition to Mass Effect because you sort of felt Like it had the same dynamic as you had when you played with your squad mates in the games, like in the campaigns, but you had your friends that you could play with online, which was crazy. And I think one of the things with Mass Effect Andromeda too was, even if the game itself or the campaign for Andromeda wasn't up to, you know, par as most people would think, the multiplayer aspect made it somewhat more enjoyable as a standalone game. So just the multiplayer portion itself is just like the person that came up with the multiplayer for Mass Effect is a genius. Like the squad combinations, the different races you can play as, and the different classes, it's just a great idea. And I think that Mass Effect in general could use like a multiplayer game, a standalone multiplayer game. I think that would have been so cool. Like seeing some form of multiplayer co-op shooter type Mass Effect with a great story could have been really cool. I think even if I do love like the general idea of Mass Effect being a exploration slash character driven game, story driven game, multiplayer is awesome. Like just if you've never played Mass Effect 3 the multiplayer edition, or if you haven't tried it out in either Andromeda and Mass Effect 3, I highly recommend you do that. The problem right now is if you haven't played Mass Effect before, it would be kind of a bit of a waste of money buying Mass Effect 3 just for the multiplayer aspect if you want to play Mass Effect Legendary Edition, because of course I want you to experience, any fan would say that, like any old fan would say that you need to experience the first game to the second game, then to the third game. Of course you need to relive the entire, or live through the entire trilogy, and not just start with Mass Effect 3. It wouldn't be smart, because you need to have that kind of red thread going through the plot. You need to experience everything. I wouldn't recommend that you buy it. We'll have to see like how the situation unfolds, but you wouldn't know exactly how great the multiplayer was if you haven't tried it yourself. It was great, and having a game, a Mass Effect standalone multiplayer game, would be a super smart idea. But right now for Legendary Edition, I think this could be like the perfect opportunity for Bioware to try it out, you know? Put out the Legendary Edition of the multiplayer for new fans to see like how great just that piece of content was. Because the multiplayer community in Mass Effect 3 is still going on today. Like people are still playing it. I did for a long while after Mass Effect 3 was released. As I said, like more than the campaign itself. That's how good it was. So yeah, this is awesome news. This is great. We will see how it unfolds. We can't like guarantee it, but just look at how Steam has like how they've topped the charts already. It wouldn't surprise me if Origin has the same situation. Like it's the most pre-ordered game in such a long time. I myself bought it through Origin for some reason. I didn't just buy it through Steam because Steam keeps jumping between, oh, we're gonna release on the 15th of May or we're gonna release on the 14th of May. It's like, look at this, like 15th of May. That's so weird because it's supposed to be releasing tomorrow from what I can see. It says on my Origin right here that the Legendary Edition will release tomorrow. So, and it hasn't been jumping back and forth between that. So I'm just going to keep it at Origin. I'm not going to cancel my pre-order there. I'm just going to keep it there because it's always just said the 14th at 17:00 in Sweden. That's 5 Central European time, I think. This is exciting, this is fun, this is great. I'm sorry if this became sort of a ramble video. I just found it just blew me away that they're considering it. I didn't think they would at first because they said in that article a while ago that just remaking the multiplayer would take as much effort as it did like doing everything for the Legendary Edition texture-wise, and it would like take twice as long to do that. But I'm not sure if I believe that, because if you just look at the function of the multiplayer, you don't even have to do much except, you know, maybe redo like every texture, of course, and update the graphics and whatnot, but you don't really have to do much besides that. You can just basically port the function over. Like everything else when it comes to mechanics and stuff, it was just great. Well, like you don't need to do anything. You can just basically just update the graphics. It's gonna be like basically the same thing. I would myself gladly pay for a separate, like, standalone multiplayer piece, but we'll see. Anyway, for all of you guys wondering, like, am I gonna stream on YouTube? Am I gonna stream on Twitch? I'm not sure yet, because if for some of you guys who don't know, there's a DMCA situation going on where Warner Brothers are claiming different videos that has the Mass Effect soundtrack in it, and that puts a significant risk on my channel, because if I start playing Mass Effect and streaming it, you know, here on YouTube, there's a risk they might strike my channel, because Warner Brothers bought the movie rights, like, of course, like 10 years or more ago. I don't know if I want to risk that right now, so I might be streaming on Twitch, just because Twitch is not as important to me as YouTube is. So if they would put out the strike on my Twitch channel, that wouldn't matter much, but on YouTube, that would be bad. So I'm thinking about it. I'm not really sure yet. And as it is tomorrow, I'm hoping they will update the DMCA situation as quickly as possible, because we still don't know. We haven't got any real replies. I know that Mr. Maddie Plays has some form of contact with one of the people from Bioware. He hasn't learned anything new either, so we'll have to see how that develops. But for now, if worst case scenario, I will stream on Twitch. It doesn't really matter. If you want to watch me on Twitch, just go over to the link down below. I'll leave the link down below if you want to watch. Hopefully the situation gets resolved. But yeah, I'm psyched about the multiplayer thing. What do you guys think? Would you, like as I asked before, would you buy a separate multiplayer experience for the Legendary Edition? Just pay a few couple extra dollars for it, because I don't think they'll do it if we don't pay for it too. Anyway, I'm just curious. Don't forget to subscribe to the Ensven Squad, and have a great day. Take care of yourself.